Hey everyone. Can people hear me right now? Hey, morning, morning. Garma, you wanna hop on and say something, or are you just tuning in to listen? So sorry I'm a few minutes late. Also, I was in a one-on-one with someone else, or with the user, not someone else. Um, so I started that one a bit late, and I didn't want to cut their time short. But okay, so yeah, good morning, everyone. Again, the I'll take a look. All right, sweet karma. I'll take a look at like some of the futures levels, but again, the I've just started hopping on a bit early because especially for some of the Europeans or people in different time zones, they like maybe they want to have a bit of an office hours that's actually at a convenient time, right? Most office hours I run fall like 3 in the morning for them, so that's actually the main goal of me hopping on a little bit earlier most of these days, but or just any questions, right? I know a lot of people actually, even US, are going to trade before they go to work and stuff like that. So this is just a little bit space of questions, but I actually do very little pre-market prep. My reason for that is I don't actually trade till 10 a.m. So a lot of my prep of like what are my levels, what am I charting, etc. I actually do between 9:30 and 10 a.m. if that makes sense. So again, I'll step through what we saw in futures on overnight, but wait, give me a second here. Does this save if you have extended hours or not? Yeah, it does. Okay. So yeah, we can do that real quick. All right. So futures overnight looks like we have quite a bit of divergence. So it looks like we came double bottomed NQ. ES, it looks like we barely missed the sweep of low of day. And then before we got a larger reversal. So wow, that's actually really annoying. So neither of these actually double bottomed. NQ, it missed it by what, like 10 points? And yes, we missed the sweep by like 3. So yeah, overnight, I don't know if anyone traded that, but it must have been a bit annoying if you're waiting for any sweep. None of these really happened. Now, as for, and I'm not as good with these, but let me see. There might be some standard deviations like how CAF draws. So let me check if I can see anything here. Standard deviation. I think that those already played out yesterday. Honestly, it looks like they undershot them a bit. It looks like they fairly held. But no, since then, yeah, to me, I mean, I'll have to see what CAF draws in the morning, but to me, there's not really any clean legs here either. I guess on the ES side, NQ, obviously, we have this double bottom or this overnight low that we can still sweep and look into. With New York morning being such a sell-off, what I do a lot of times is I'll still note out like the lunchtime or afternoon liquidity. So like this 28,256 on NQ will probably be or could have some influence. Basically the swing high. And then we still have quite a few levels actually on downside on ES. We have yesterday's low. We also have this low from July 23rd. So again, this is a low that NQ beat out, like broke under long ago, whereas ES still has that that level. So if we do get a sharp sell-off and we're looking for where we can bottom, in a more extreme case, that's one you definitely want to be on the lookout for. Hey, hey Nick, how's it going? Hey, everyone. All right, so that's what I'm mostly seeing on futures. Nick, is there anything on futures that I'm not noticing level-wise? I couldn't see a clean standard deviation leg though, I'll be honest. Unless, let me map one out. So I mean, I'm not gonna put him on the spot, but Nick is also very good. He's an extremely good futures trader. So actually I chat with him quite a bit in a couple other group chats. But he has very good knowledge of standard deviations like CAF does. So actually, yeah, like looking at the ES is a lot cleaner on this leg, I'll be honest. NQ has been a lot weaker. ES, if you map out this, I forget what they're called, but this the manipulation leg over here, you're going to see right at the 4 to 4.5 zone is where we ended up bottoming out. Oh, Nick, you don't have a clean leg. Nick, but you're always actually. Do you map both, or do you only do NQ? Yeah, Virgin is. Yeah, Virgin is also Nick. Rexy on light mode. Awesome. But yeah, anyways, not we've already bottomed out on the CS standard deviation. So like in my view, this is one that's already been depleted or used up, right? So we have to see what happens in New York, but it's potential that maybe let me take a look here. Maybe one of these legs from overnight can have some influence, either this one or this one here. Okay, wait, is there a way to turn off the prices? Okay, yeah, just because honestly, I might even just turn off the numbers. Well, no, I guess this is confusing for people watching. But yeah, we have to see how price action looks and what gives confluence to heat seeker. But all these standard deviations, at least based on the legs I drew out here, are way higher, right? So I'd be looking at this 28,250 level-ish first, actually. Is NQ lagging? Yeah, NQ's just been weaker. Chips have been obviously in pretty heavy free fall, which I think Jewel was very clear about yesterday. About SMH, and even if you map out NVIDIA, AMD, like they were weaker yesterday, right? So oh shoot, I updated this wrong. There we go. So yeah, it does not surprise me. NQ has been breaking lows. It should catch up. No, I would not say it should catch up, right? Like we cannot assume that I think they've actually deviated more and more over time. So as just because of the relative strength of tech, right? So obviously that has caused NQ to be very strong at times, and you'll see like QQQ almost caught up to SPY for a decent chunk of time. But when the tech sector is in a pullback moment, that also means that QQQ is going to be relatively weaker. So I would not always view it as a must catch up, or if it does, that may be more of a macro sentiment rather than oh, this is going to catch up today. So I think they were, yeah, Topware, exactly right. They used to be a lot more paired together than they are now. So that's at least been my opinion. Based on, and I know also all-time highs does not help with this as either. Oh wait, there's a setting I was supposed to be doing today. I'm gonna try so again, we'll set an announcement fully for the future, but for now, we're still testing like can we toggle people's ability to speak, listen, and screen share based on tier. So I'm gonna enable it again. If it doesn't work again, I'll turn it back on. But anyway, yeah, so if anyone who's not community cannot see the screen, let me know. Let's look at GME to see how messed up the data is. This doesn't look messed up. There's just an issue with overnight levels, it seems, right? Because this heat map's saying we're at 50. Clearly we're not at 50, so 21.5. So we're right around this negative node right here. It's 22. Is that what you meant, Rush, or is there something else? Yeah, like I said, the spot price is clearly off, but obviously the chart here is telling us what it actually is, so it's not really a big issue there. Yeah, there was some issue about closing prices, so clearly this has not been fully fixed. So I'll let the developers know, but I mean, yeah, just use the chart. Or just use the chart, trading via your brokerage, whatever. This should not be impacting you too much. Then yeah, I think with time, like macro, yeah, I think at some point QQQ will overtake SPY, but again, saying it's going to catch up today, tomorrow, whatever, like that's a much harder prediction to to have. Community can't see screen. I hope so, if the settings work correctly. How is Kospi down? I can't really answer that. I don't look at international. I rather international markets. Yeah, Russia. It is. I mean, it's not optimal, but they're aware of it. They tried pushing a change related to closing ticker price. Actually, you know what? I'll just take a screenshot and send it to them so they're aware. So they're aware of the closing price discrepancy. So they must have tweaked something and now had this issue here. So let me message them real quick. So yeah, sorry. Let me send this into the developers before I continue. All right. So Rush, thanks for letting me know about that. Yeah. So anyone who's community, we're gonna start not all day, but probably a good big chunk of the day. We're gonna start restricting screen share for reasons I explained yesterday. If I need to re-explain them, I will. But if you're not community and you still cannot see the screen, then there's something wrong with the way the settings being applied. So let me know and I'll fix that. But that is long term, that is something that will be implemented eventually. So again, right now I'm mostly just testing the feature just to make sure it works, but yeah, eventually this will step in for everybody. Upgrade to dark mode? No, probably not. All right, let's just sort it indexes. All right, so any questions? It's a few minutes before market starts. Again, I'll be narrating what I see opening half hour. I will be honest, I typically do not trade the first half hour. Things are a lot more hectic. I'm less comfortable trading it, so I stick to times that I feel better while reading the maps, which is 10 a.m. and after. So I'll call stuff out. I'll just be honest, I'll just be transparent about that. All right, gonna be that advanced stream when I go dark mode? No, I don't. I don't think so. Hey, Light, everyone. So will I be focusing on SPY, QQQ, or other tickers? Likely indexes, like very, very close to the gate. But during these streams, I pay attention to any ticker. I pay attention to any question. So whether that's indexes, individuals, whatever, it's pretty free flowing. I don't stick to one side or the other. Even futures a little bit, I will mention. If there's demand, right? I mean, there's usually smaller percentage of people trading futures, but I can mention it if needed. Cesar, are you community or no? I wish I could tell from like. There's some way to tell from here. Yeah. So again, okay, I'm gonna have to say this like 10 times probably, but like community is. Firstly, we're double checking does the setting even work, but we're gonna be running less screen share for community and more audio only going forward. Oh fuck, Russia's pro. Yeah, Lan, we're working to do that. I don't think it's been added yet, but it has been requested already. Let me go check Slack as possible. Rush, you are pro and you cannot see the screen. Okay. Rush, can you DM me on Discord real quick? Okay, so you're good, Rush? Okay. So it seems it's working today. Hey, Jack. Hey, lovely, everyone. Light. Yeah, I mean, I'll be looking at indexes. Is the setting to turn off music not working? I don't have music on, so it's not a problem. Kevin, I don't know if it's Kevin or Kevon, but it's pinned in the announcements channel. We're gonna find a better way to do this. I think long term, what we're gonna do is maybe make a channel right under announcements that's just schedule. So it'd be like a stream schedule. Stream schedule. Sorry. All right. No need to apologize. Ask anything you need to find or whatever. I mean, yeah, I can go over. I'll go over this real quick. We have like what 3 minutes, but again, this is heat maps that open are subject to huge change. So seems at the moment, SPY has double stack positive nodes, huge upside. QQQ is just under this floor, actually, this 677, which is low of range. I mean, we have a couple of nodes down here, but like QQQ has the majority of volume here and upwards. Same with SPY. We're at this gatekeeper 740. SPY low of range is more towards 736 or 738. SPX is this is a pretty mixed bag. It looks like we just have dual king nodes 7410, 7430, which are for now going to be I don't think this will range bound price because it's so close to market open. We're probably going to get some kind of move and break either side. So it looks like SPY, QQQ are leaning a bit more bullish, just based on where their ranges are and where price is relative to that. But again, if 677 currently is actually a ceiling, right? So we need to claim that to safely be playing, calls off there. There's music playing on your stream. I have no music on. I mean, I don't think anyone else can hear. I'll go close Spotify or whatever I need to do, but like, it is not playing on my device. I haven't run a stream with music to date, so just to avoid any issue with that. Virgin on the coloring. Yeah, so I mean the color settings are going to be really. Actually, I'm going to open up Trinity just because I think we are going to get a lot of questions about this whole new coloring scheme. So mine is grayscale. I'm probably going to flip this actually to normal, just because while I'm on stream, yeah, I don't want people getting confused. And also some matches Atlas. So here's our normal colorway. I do have some like fade and dim and whatever settings. So I have hide and dim. What I do is I'm hiding any number that's under 20% of the king node. I'm also dimming those out a little bit. So as I see the colors start to grow, so for example, 750 per him, maybe, or maybe the 674. But as some of these colors grow a little bit stronger, and eventually once the number pops up, I know it's crossing into the 20% threshold of the king node, right? So it's becoming a stronger level. I don't dim them very much. And honestly, actually, I'll run it with the numbers as well. So we can see as some of these levels are growing or shrinking when they're getting closer to this 20% threshold. But that's it. I mean, I turn off the decimals because those are just annoying. And then I use percent of king node versus value. I'll probably toggle between these depending on if people get confused or not. But I like dim the most just because you can control how opaque or not these other nodes are. All right, hopefully that helps. If there's music playing, I don't know, just refresh it maybe and see if that helps. User 3DI, are you not community and you cannot see? Yeah, there are a few discounts, especially for Pro has the good ones. So just, well, I'm busy, but shoot me a message and I can help out with that later, probably during lunch. How do I use light mode? It toggles up here on the top right. No, okay, so yeah, community cannot see stream. I'll say it again. I don't want to repeat this like all the time, but I'll repeat it like every 30 minutes, I guess, as people come in and out. All right, so we have this double positive down here, SPX. Not much confluence here. Like I'll say, I think SPY is coming down to 636, 637. Like that's where we'd be looking for it to bottom out if we're going to double bottom with yesterday's levels. We do have a bit of a reverse hot pull if we include 738. So those are levels I'd be interested in. QQQ is not showing much confluence though. QQQ is showing 677 ceiling. And SPX we're kind of this, we're just in this battleground here. I can make a poll. Yeah, 1 second. All right. All right, I sent the poll. Oh, you cannot move this thing. Holy shoot. This poll is super annoying. All right. Now I can get through market. Yeah, I'll add the, yeah, I can set up a banner later, but for now, I guess we can look at what the market's, what's going on here. So again, we have the reverse rug pull SPY. I think that's really all I'm looking at. The strong level is down here at 736. That also means we're going to sweep low of day from yesterday, or at least approach it. It looks like SPX is trying to hold. Well, the 7405. This is more of a rug pull here, SPX. But rug pull there, going into reverse rug pull SPY. Yeah, I'm not too interested in either side. I guess the only thing I'd be interested if we push higher towards 677 QQQ, that would roughly align with 7430 rug pull on SPX. That's really the only thing I'm seeing right now. And that would roughly be when we're starting to tap into the positive ceilings on SPY. All right, I'll leave the poll up for a little bit, and then if this thing... So there are people who are not community and cannot see the screen. Was it Glitch's decision? Yeah, it was a company decision. If it's not working through settings, then... Okay, I'm going to close the poll because this thing doesn't go away. All right. Oh, so yeah, let's wait and see. Can I talk market, please? Yes, what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't believe so. I think John only marked yesterday as his stream. So Jewel and I are going heavy this week because last week of August we're going to be out. So I think John is going to cover a lot of the streaming that last week of August. All right, so NQ has come down, or QQQ swept yesterday's lows. Let me check on futures if it's actually swept out those lows. Not yet. So NQ has not actually swept out these lows at the moment. So let's see if we're able to. So we're, again, still looking a lot weaker than what we're seeing on SPY SPX. Looks like we're getting a reaction here. I would have wanted lower to play the reverse rug pull, maybe along with this dark pull based on the SPY map. But it looks like SPX is trying to claim this double positive node here. MU. Holy shoot, tab. Wait, sorry. I need another tab here. For individual tickers. Yes, that will also be, yes, Thomas. All right, MU, watch out with this level here, 185. We have very low, let me see. 180 is really what you got here. So I guess if yesterday you took entry on this undershoot on MU, or even at 180 itself, The swing is probably healthy now. What was the question about MU? And yeah, we got big volume going into OPEX. All right, we're getting a nice bounce here. We didn't sweep a single level, I'll be honest. Like we have, I guess a fib retracement would have been the only thing you're looking at if you want to play bounce. But let's see. And then SPY, so SPY sort of middle of range, right? We have rug pull 740, 741. Then we have reverse rug pull down here, 738, 737. But these nodes they're a bit softer, right? Like strong ceiling is all the way up 743. How do I get rid of the pull? I closed it. Did it not disappear for everyone? Oh, this is going to be really annoying if that pull stayed around. Let's do Tesla. Tesla looks like we have. So I was going to say 307 as a ceiling. The only thing I'm hesitating with now is that we have a lot of VEX upside for Friday. So yes, this is a ceiling. But a lot of time when we have short-term ceiling but long-term upside target, those plays can get a little funky. So I would say, yeah, if you're looking to scalp, you can look into Tesla. I guess, this 307 held quite a bit yesterday, so I'd be flipping that support into resistance. But probably, I don't know. Either way, for Tesla, this is not, with the expiration being tomorrow, this is not a huge range, $5. So to me, risk-reward is quite stunted. SPY 738 beach ball. Why does everyone say these are beach balls? Guys, these are just reverse rug pulls. I don't know. I need to go check how we're defining beach balls in the docs because people have been saying this a lot. So yes, it's possible SPY we bottom out with this reverse rug pull 737, 738. We do have SPX with a bit of positive volume here. So like those are kind of battling each other, I would say, at the moment. Mobile, if you refresh, close and come back, does the poll not show up? SPY 730. So yes, SPY 730 is growing. This is still a relatively small node. So actually another setting that I think is pretty nice is if you enable percentages, where is this? If you enable the velocity to only show up for selected nodes. So since I'm filtering to only 20% nodes or higher, I'm not seeing velocity that pops up on just, tiny nodes. Yeah, QQQ is growing the reverse rug pull as well. So actually this is getting a bit more in line with SPY. It's actually big divergence, right? QQQ is sinking. SPY is still at this reverse rug pull. QQQ is now pushing down into it. So now we have a bit more confluence. SPX still has these double positives above, but we seem to have two of the maps trying to put in a more solid floor. Oh yeah, I will say like I guess if y'all are defining beach ball as like stacks of negative nodes, yes, that can be the case. But to me here, the reverse rug pull is going to be a stronger play, right? Because this stack of negatives, firstly, these are all lower in volume. None of these are above 50% compared to, well, I mean, this positive one isn't either. But to me, rug pulls, reverse rug pulls always go above beach balls. I think also like the beach ball, the way we have it defined is not correct, actually. It's not a stack of 2 or 3 negative nodes. Like a beach ball can just be one negative node as well, or even a positive node. The whole logic with a beach ball is just the more you push down under, especially the negative nodes, if that level gets reclaimed, it gets that slingshot effect, right? So like, as you push the beach ball into the water, etc., it'll pop out stronger. So yeah, we have a reverse rug pull here. We have this triple stack on QQQ. SPY is still not pushed much lower down, but it looks like we could maybe bottom out here. The only thing is SPX rug pull is going against it, right? So you have 2 out of 3 with that 2 out of 3 with SPY QQQ, but SPX is going a little against it. So again, you're more aggressive, you'll probably be comfortable taking this. If this SPX is putting you off and you don't want to trade it because of that, then also fine. And it looks like we're getting good reaction here. Spiking no roll down. So yes, it rolled down, but there's still an air pocket at where we currently are, right? So be tracking how ceilings roll down and all of that, but it's most important when price is right at those levels, right? When price is still $5 under, then whether King Node is 744, 743 is not too big a deal. If it rolls down to 736, now that's a different case. But actually, that would just be strengthening this reverse rug pull that we have here, I'll be honest. All right, so we got a reaction there. So whoever caught someone caught in this floor being slid in. 672, insane, good read. Because them sliding in that 672 is giving us a lot better confluence, right? Before SPY was just so low on this reverse rug pull, but then QQQ is stepping in a little bit more as well. So again, this is still a bit of an early entry. Like if you want to be really safe, you'd be waiting for 736, which is sort of teetering on King Node or not, which is what Thomas just pointed out. Like when you have levels that are, 90% above, if you use percent of King Node, always recognize that these can flip in an instant, right? So there was a decent reaction there for like $1, I think. A little bit less actually, like half $1, 60 cents. But let's see. But yeah, to me, the SPX rug pull is limiting a lot of the upside. So again, I said it earlier, right? If you're quite aggressive, you take that. But if you're more conservative, you're probably skipping that. Okay. Give me a second here. All right. What heat map settings? Yeah, I mean, this will probably change with time. But at least at the moment, this is what I have. I use dim. Oh, wait. Oh, this is not refreshed. I only use dim. I've been experimenting with using dim and hide, but I don't know if I will keep that long term. All right, so now we're pushing into the double positive stack. These I usually trust a lot more. Like I usually trust positive stacks a lot more to hold strongly than negative stacks, just because negative stacks are very volatile. Sometimes we'll, push all the way through them. So we're approaching 737 here. SPX is not helping with any confluence. And QQQ, this is just like a big stack as well, 670, 672. So when you're in these stacks, it's a little harder to pinpoint where exactly we may expect to bounce on based on QQQ alone. So again, that's why we use SPY to help build confluence and to help pinpoint where we might think it is. So safest on that side will probably be 736. Again, safest is still going to be yesterday's low day sweep, 736. We have a ton of volume here. Like that's going to be best entry in my view. But I guess you could try for an early entry off 737 and this positive stack on QQQ. But even QQQ 668 is definitely a lot stronger. This is more than double 671. So this stack right here is more of a gatekeeper set of gatekeepers. And same with 737, and you have 736 King Node. $7,405, 74. Yeah. So that double positive stack on SPX was nerfed that move earlier pretty effectively. How do I feel about 7,430 growing? Don't care too much. Like there's stuff in the way first, right? 7,405, 7,410. So let's see some of this positive volume here on QQQ spike and put in reaction. It looks like it is. An interesting one is this 7,350. Actually, this has grown a ton. So I keep an eye on that one. And that, bro, it's 944. Jack, I thought you were streaming this week still. Data, are you community tier? Not today. Damn, no one else streaming today. All right, I'll run solo. Doesn't matter. Or if Garma, if you're still on and want to hop on, just let me know. All right, so there's a bit of a reaction here, but let's see. Again, these QQQ gatekeepers are tailing off a bit actually, and we're getting a lot of growth still in the 668, so that's safest, but it looks like prices at least it's giving an attempt here to hold. So we'll see. Yep, Crow, that's the one. Yeah, from the beginning, like even pre-market, I had said that's going to be your biggest level. Again, so just because we sweep low day, don't just everyone go enter, but to me, that's one of the cleanest setups we've had. Hot Rod Todd, if you go to settings, there's like these little, if you're on the normal heat map, if you go to these little triple bars at the top. Holy crap, my computer's. Okay, I may have too many Skylight tabs open. But if you go to these triple tabs over here, these 3 lines, you can use King Node here. Read as % of King Node. What I think of CoreWeave shares, if CoreWeave's still around 70, I think it's actually pretty good. Holy shoot, it gapped under 70. Like CoreWeave's been. All right, macro, really clean level over here, around 65. So we are approaching that, honestly. So CoreWeave looks pretty good on the macro. If we lose 65, there's not much to tell about CoreWeave. I wouldn't be able to. There's basically no chart to go off of if we lose that 65. It is a macro level though, so recognize that we may go hit it, but some of these macro stop loss hunts or liquidity sweeps can be a bit of a deeper pull. So really size for 0 and give it a little bit of time there. All right, 736 is tapping here. We haven't swept ES low of day, previous low of day, but we are definitely tapping that level. And we are getting close to 699, 668 as well, as a bit of confluence on QQQ. SPX not really helping, I'll be honest. This is useless almost. Yeah, QQQ 669 looks like it's stepping in there. Man, I'm hesitating between saying like we must wait for a sweep of previous low of day or trying a little bit early. If we can get 668 to tap, then we do have a lot stronger confluence, right? Double King Node. SPX not really helping, but you would have SPY and QQQ pretty well in line. We are pushing a lot of velocity downside, though, I will say, as Thomas mentioned. Especially the 7350 on SPX looks like it's going to flip to a King Node soon. All right, so there's... No, we missed the sweep. That's exactly what I said. I felt like they're going to bounce it early. All right, so 736 is hit on the dot. It's already reacted 60 cents. That is pretty annoying. We didn't sweep, though. But yeah, so there's decent space to run, right? Like we have about $1, maybe $1.50 upside. But yeah, it looks like SPX can get in the way. It's rolled a bit of a ceiling down. We also have this dark pool as well that aligns roughly with 7400. But yep, that 736 did give it a reaction. We just did not sweep low of day, which is incredibly frustrating. Like that to me would have made it, let's say A setup. Sure. Yeah, I can Contigo. I mean, Contigo, you can look at the heat maps on Discord. You know that, right? So like anything I'm saying here, you should be able to track through the channels. All right, got a huge reaction here. So again, it happened a little early. Like it tapped on the dot for 736. We didn't sweep previous low day, but reaction clearly there. 669 was a big clue, right? So whoever mentioned the peekaboo, really good eye, right, on them slipping that in. And again, this is why I like having all the way down to 20, 25% of King Node. This is a level that was 30% of the King Node, right? But it helped out to make this positive stack a little stronger. Fifth time? I mean, on my chart, there's just this one level. On my chart, there's just one. I don't know if. All right, but yeah, there's the bounce. All right, Crow. Okay, Crow caught it. And okay, nice. It won't show the change in the node. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll do my best, Contigo, but it's hard to juggle live streaming and updating everyone in Discord. So I'll do what I can. All right, Zcan. All right, looks like a few people caught it, some with smaller size than everything, but hopefully this was hopefully the waiting for the confluence hopefully made sense there, right? QQQ stepped in, that it really helped out. Okay, it looks like quite a few people caught this. Okay, sick. Again, don't overstay your welcome. Someone mentioned that the king rolled down to 7,400. We also had the dark pool there at around 7,395. I'll work on saying the dark pool levels out loud because I know some of y'all are audio only. And we even had this local high yesterday from 2:05 p.m. So those are all very good spots to trim out of this trade. And we're reverting pretty quick off this rug pull on SPX. I would not have took this rug pull on SPX just because we have the reverse rug pull and SPY opposing it. But I mean, clearly it's working. It's just a personal preference there. Oh, sorry, terrible trader. You're looking at overnight. Okay, apologies. Let me go check that. Fifth tab. But still, overnight did not clear this previous low of day, though. Terrible trader. So my point is like, well, it still hasn't, firstly. So we cleared overnight lows. We did not clear the previous day low. But a lot of times, either of those will be pretty influential. All right, Alon. Okay, nice, Alon. You're holding them a little further. Holy shit, Andres caught 80%. All right, looks like we got a few people in on that one. Yeah, we're still. This 668 continues growing. 667 actually has seen a lot of growth, 200%. So this one was previously like 30 or like 20 actually, and that's popped really big. So that ceiling they slid in SPX, this rug pull here is definitely impacting the upside. Sean, are you community or what tier? Yeah, so we're restricting community for today. We'll send an announcement about this eventually. I'll probably turn it on for like an hour. Yeah, let's say 10 a.m. I'll turn it on for an hour. But yeah, some people pay a lot of money in pro tier, so then it's to have same value or almost equal value for $100. That's part of the reason there from the business side. Light, I'm probably gonna put out a video on my settings, but just mess around with the new three line toggle and use the dim. So again, screenshot mine if you want to use these settings exactly, but you'll likely want to mess around with these and settle on what you like. Shen, no, it will be long term, Shen. That change is made. But check Meta. Oh shoot, I'm having to switch all over here. Does Meta not have earnings? Isn't Meta earnings today? I'm not gonna cover Meta earnings if there's earnings. Yeah, QQQ has a huge blow up in volume up here. Oh, that's interesting. I guess you can try. We're back at these double positives that bounced us on SPY. So if you're safe, you probably wait for a double bottom on the day, but maybe you want to take. I do not chase these negative nodes. I'll be clear. But if you want to take like some very tiny lotto size, but until we see a stronger floor, I would not be playing calls, right? You still, to me, 736 confluence with QQQ down here, 668, 669 is what you want to wait for if you're wanting to play upside. Yeah, Meta earnings. I'm not going to answer questions about earnings. This QQQ is weird. I've seen that before where they faded, and I've seen it before where it's news. So again, size it lotto until we hit stronger floors, but we can maybe have a bit of bias here. Let's check VEX. Yeah, VEX, all the volumes up there. Actually, in all three. Interesting. Yeah, maybe you can. But that's also part of that is because we sold off. So VEX needs more time to reshuffle. All right, John Boy caught it. Yeah, we all used to trade with the Discord maps. It's definitely possible. Why are you not able to use Heatseeker while you see screen sharing? Oh, are you on mobile or computer, Stocks Lord? How do you identify double bottoms? It's just when we have a wick and we come down and sweep it, right? So like again, ES here, right? We see yesterday, okay, we didn't sweep the level, but we came hit 735.8. Today we came hit 736, so very close to each other, and that's the double bottom right there. Bubble percentages. Double check your settings. I have velocity set to selected instead of all. All right, so let's see if we can come down and double bottom. These QQQ nodes are still around. That is really weird. Yeah, I mean, you want SPY has a reverse rug pull. You can maybe take Lotto small size, but I would, for full size, I would still be waiting for 668, maybe 736 again. $10K contract buy, bull money. That's Flow. I don't use Flow. Yeah, I know Connor. Oh, Garma, my bad. I didn't. Connor, you can hop in too. I hadn't seen y'all. Sorry.
Yo, my McDonald calls are up 200%. Joel was dissing me when I took him.
Do McDonald's best restaurant on earth.
You remember when I was talking about taking those McDonald calls like last week, right?
I don't think I was on stream.
Oh wait, no,
I don't remember.
No, I said it and I DM'd you my analysis on it, and you said it looked good.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. All right, 668 would have been the nicer one if we would come down, hit that 736 double tap. It looks like we're double bottoming on QQQ, and we may bounce off of that. I hope not. Like, I hope we go lower to get the better entry with some confluence, but we'll see. How much pull does SPX King Node have for tomorrow? Oh, we still have that 7300 King Node, right? Chewbacca, can you check if SPY QQQ also have that? Like big downside nodes into tomorrow? Snack wrap thesis, bruh. Sherpa, that's a good thesis though. So as long as you're still identifying setups like that over and over and over, then eventually you start catching them. So it's not a big deal there. Big downside for tomorrow is due to FOMC. So there's probably some hedges on there. So it is hard to tell. Are they hedges or are they not? So again, another way to look at it is if you do play any bounces today, maybe you scalp it a little bit more. Maybe you don't get too aggressive because of that potential 7300 influence from tomorrow's nodes. Zcans, as a hard rule, if it hits 30 to 40% on options, I'm trimming. I trim and then move break even to runners to break even. After I trim initial 30, 40%, everything after that is just based on any potential resistance on the heat maps or the charts. How relevant is it? I mean, I think it's quite large, no? Let me go check since everyone's asking about this. Yeah, I think this is very relevant, no? This is 5 times stronger than any node we currently have today. So again, if you want to play any bounces, maybe you do them more as scalps. If there's that chance of 7300 taking hold and just tanking the day. Yesterday as well, right? Like we had very big sell-off. So 7300 is a clue on that as well. All right, let's see. So 669 faded off. Another big thing here. But we are tapping 736. So I don't like that 669 faded off. But SPY, we are tapping that same level. Next stop, 335. What chart is this? Okay, I'm not sure what chart that is on. I'll go. All right, anyone who needs settings, please screenshot this. Use snipping tool. I'll leave it for 10 seconds and then I need to take it off. All right, everyone okay with that? All right, and if someone missed it, Todd has it. So Todd, send it somewhere in the Discord, please, and maybe John or Jewel can pin it. When I say trim 30, 40%, what does that mean? Yeah, I mean in profits. Exactly, Bubbo. Oh man, so we are reacting here again. So 669 faded, but we're still getting very strong reaction here on like a double bottom. I guess if I flip to the 3-minute, this is gonna be a cleaner double bottom. We also have a bit of divergence where SPY has swept out the low, or sorry, QQQ has, but ES did not. So that's actually a bullish divergence for any of you who, any of the more like ICT minded traders will track that.
SMT.
Yep, exactly, Garma. No tracking. I have not used the no tracking feature. I think Jewel put a post on it, but I don't know how to use it.
Ooh, you used a % of the King node. How do you like that?
I like it. It's just easier to read. Like it's quicker, right? Like I mean, I used to do all this math mentally, so it's like I'm used to doing it. But I know for a lot of new reviewers, it's a lot quicker to just say like, oh, this is 80%, 30%, whatever. So I think it's a pretty good feature to add. The reason I didn't like it previously because it wouldn't show any volumes, but I told the developer to add the king node as a to give us the actual number because I know some people do track that. Yeah, based on SPY, we missed the sweep. QQQ, we did sweep. The 669 fading did give me some pause, I'll be honest. So I was not viewing this as strong as the first tap. But yeah, Blair, I don't know if Blair caught it. If you're playing pure chart, this double bottom's super clean, right? I will say QQQ is stepping in a ton of volume at 671, 672. So with like upside is getting a bit more limited with the growth of those. And we still have the 7400 SPX, right? That rejected us last time. So a bit of space there, but not more than like $2 based on these QQQ double positive stack. And the same SPX ceiling that prevented higher last time. So if anyone did catch the double bottom, you'll want to be trimming into those levels, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll put community an hour here for 10 a.m. to 11. Thanks for a reminder. All right, Blair, you're up on BE. Nice. For QQQ, yeah, if these positive nodes keep growing, in theory, you'll be looking at this and saying this can be a ceiling, right? Especially with the 7400 rejection that happened earlier. Now, would I take this? Probably not, because you're going straight into a reverse rug pull on SPY, right? So it's putting it together. I haven't actually liked the rug pull entry off SPX because of the reverse rug pull on SPY is opposing it. Yeah, John Boy, I was same for me. I'll admit. Bubble Frank, so the tap rule about 66, 80%, 66, 33, that is a chart rule. That is not a level rule. So just because a node grows, if we've still tapped it many, many times, I will still size down or skip the trade. T Lee, no, I don't. I don't look at Dow. Drop some discount codes to, okay. I'm not gonna do that right now just because there's gonna be a frenzy of people asking about that stuff. So can handle that later. Not while we're in like peak trading. Connor, can you talk? I think I added you.
Yeah, they want
dark mode. Can I change the dark mode? No, I'm not going to change the dark mode. Garmin can share a screen if he wants, and there's dark mode on that one.
Yeah, you guys want to see dark mode?
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I know a lot of people don't like light mode, but I'm not going to change my whole settings on everything.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Connor, we can hear you.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. I'll help you out, Nico, a little bit. Sounds like you're a little bit answering questions, bro.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Actually, I'm gonna get some water. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, do your thing, bro. What's up, Garma?
Yo, can you?
I might open chat in a different page just so I can like help you guys out a little bit and answer questions quicker because I'm going back and forth between 2 pages here to trade. Give me a moment.
Can you help me get my my CFI?
Sure, bro. Okay, I'm gonna shoot. I have an idea here.
I'm going for my PPL in this fall. My friends are pilots,
nice,
but you know, I thought of doing it for the fun of it.
What do you guys think about DFNS chart? I'm not sure. I haven't really taken a look, to be honest, but what are you seeing on the DFNS chart?
Is that even a ticker, bro? I'm pretty sure it's a troll.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't see ceilings rolling down. I see I don't know. We're just in a ton of positive gamma. We have that Keynote 7400. I think that's going to be kind of the deciding line in the sand for today. If we hold that, we also have a dark pool level that corresponds with 737. So I'm personally not in a trade right now. As far as VIX, if you play that and if you look at that, we are above pivot, which is bullish, but we already rejected the upside T1, and we are heading back to the pivot right now, which is I don't want to call it a VIX crush, but to reject the T1 and come back to pivot, I would say is mildly bullish for now.
This
But
this
this 74,
QQQ Barneys are interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, 677 still pushing volume too. This interesting, that growth up there. So again, just those nodes growing should not be cause to take entry, but once you see that and you see, let's say, the 736 retap, then you can take an entry, right? So again, don't just chase nodes, but make sure you're still putting a thesis of where we're going to reverse and combine it with that, right?
Karma, if you have questions, bro, you can shoot me a text. I'll help you out with any advice that you might want or need. But I'll try to keep it on the Trinity here.
All right, I appreciate it, Thomas.
How do I... ATC? Oh, y'all talking about flight stuff? Sui, do you play minis or micros? Garo will have better advice, but how many? It depends on how. If you're playing micros, just it depends on the
You
size
could always
of your
size
account.
off some contracts and put your stuff to break even, or even in profit with micros. I should probably trade micros again because I trade minis and then I just let my trade run.
Yeah, if you do a single micro, then that's really all you have. You can still put a break-even
kind of
stop and let
rejecting
it
that
run a little further.
738. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Keep going.
Yeah, we're kind of rejecting that 7400, 738 there. So I see us kind of chopping right now. What I would like to see for like, I don't know, a play here is potentially just that king node switch up higher. We have QQQ king node is at 678, but that king node, that map on QQQ looks pretty ugly, so it's very hard to get a read off of that. So I don't know if I don't see anything super playable at the moment.
Yeah, it's not too pretty. SPY has a strong floor. Even QQQ down at 668, 669. SPX, we still have the 7400, 7410. Both of those levels as upside caps. And even QQQ 671, 672 is a lot of positive volume there, capping upside. So a bit more limited range compared to a little bit ago.
It looks like that 668 is a strong floor as well. If you really wanted to scalp and we get closer to that 736, you could scalp bounces off of that level. Just keep in mind that level has been tested a couple times. So take your trims quickly. And mind you that we are above VIX pivot, which is bearish, and we are trending back up. So
if we're above pivot, doesn't that mean bearish?
Yes, that is bearish. So
736.
My bad. Yeah. VIX above pivot is bearish. Just in case anybody was confused on that. That 736 is growing pretty immensely in size. So I think they're really going to want to hold that floor.
Diamante, there is a 10-minute rule that he does with the VIX pivot. I'm not going to explain it here, but I think Hazy has it in his article. Can someone message or DM me on Discord, and I'll get that to you. Maps
Showing
from back to sleep.
I like
Yeah,
that
maps
one.
are pretty messy, and well, people don't know, but Lon has a really shifted time zone. So yeah, man, if you need to if you need to rest, then rest.
Good night, bro.
Can you explain Vic's? Sorry, go ahead.
See you, Lon. So for those that don't know, Lon is the one actually who he pushed his own like code
Idea.
he wrote up himself on browser. I don't know how to do it. I'm not a CS guy, but for all this fade and dim and all these settings. So like he's one of the pivotal reasons it got implemented so quickly, right? Because it had been an idea. Like I had asked for that long ago, like quarter year ago, half a year ago. But like he was instrumental in getting it actually implemented because he took that initiative on his own. I mean, Claude wrote it, he wrote it, it doesn't matter. He's the one that gave it to us, right? Lon was gonna go start selling it off as a custom package, bro. All right. Yeah, there's not too much to say here on the indexes unless the situation changes big time. How do I Is Garma stream good quality for everyone? I'm trying to figure this out. Oh no, it is. I think there's just something wrong with my computer. All right, 736 is growing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That growing, it
Looks
doesn't
like the
change
floor-
anything. It's been there.
Looks like
It's
the
been there
floor
the whole
rolled down
time.
on QQQ. Yeah. So Trader Joe said that looks like the floor rolled down on QQQ. I would say that's probably more of a ceiling. That 671 is just popping with the King node now. That is definitely something to keep an eye on. The QQQ map just looks very, very dirty for me right now personally. We are rolling that King node down between 671 on Qs and 736 on SPY, which is setting up for a pin. That 736 is just growing immensely. So you can take scalps off of that 736 level. Just be very mindful and keep your stops tight because that level has been tested twice now. And although it is growing statistically, those levels don't hold the more taps they have. So
Yeah. Whoever asked about Oracle, this is actually coming down to a double bottom and a gatekeeper, like a pretty strong node at 115. So I would not be playing like a breakdown. Blair, what is this link? Do I need to look at this or is this for someone else? All right, let's see. We're pushing down to 668, 736. Like Connor said, though, right? We have had quite a few taps.
QQQ low at daybreak. Divergence is strong.
But we have still not swept that ES previous day low.
That's
Insane.
crazy.
SPX map is like a crapshoot as well. Everything around price is not very clear. But a lot of upper volumes fading. Yeah, that negative cluster on QQQ may have just been fake. So again, just because you see some big pop in volume, some big nodes, who knows how far away, doesn't always mean let's go chase. Sometimes sure news comes out or you would get a huge pop, but many times not. Oh, thanks, Blair. Yeah, so for whoever wanted the VIX rule, the link is in the chat.
a big like rule of thumb for me to kind of like sit on cash is you see that QQQ King node flipping back and forth. That to me just shows marketing decision. So again, you're seeing that bounce here on that 736 floor that we spoke about earlier. Your upside is kind of capped at that 671. So it's very choppy right now. The big move happened in the morning. I personally would not. I mean, unless you want to scalp those bounces off 736. But again, to reiterate, that level's been tested multiple times. So we are pretty much just chopping between these levels at this time.
Yeah, it's honestly just been 736 to 7400 ceiling, and then just back and forth between those two. So like, I mean, decent scalps, right? Like $15 each way on SPX. So you can play it, right, if you're quick with your executions. But as we continue testing each side, eventually one will break.
Yeah, Paragon, 7350 growing. Watch it. It's definitely a good idea to keep a note to keep an eye on those nodes, because a lot of times those nodes will come out of nowhere, and that'll be your cue that like a pretty big drop is coming, like a tape bomb. But again, just I would be very, very careful to short above that 736. And again, you see that 669 king node just flip back down. So just a ton of market indecision.
Becky, the MU, yeah, King Node is down there, but that's playing a breakdown, and so I'm never gonna advise people to play breakouts. But yeah, it looks like we are clearing, and there's a pretty big air pocket going down. But yeah, to me, like the move already got started, so there's not much to do right now, unless you're already in. So many nodes today. Yeah, QQQ is one of the messiest maps I've seen in a while, I'll be honest. And even SPX is not helping either. This is not very clear. Okay, yeah, but
SPX is just,
then that's a good
yeah.
one. Tesla off 300.
QQQ still rolling down to 669 here.
Yeah, just keep an eye on that QQQ map because it's been kind of a mess. But if that king node holds at 669, that could be a pretty bearish signal. But again, that 736 is just holding very firmly. So I want to see how price reacts at that 736 on SPY. I don't really see downside growing a ton to give us a second target. So again, just be very, very cautious. We are kind of pinned here between 669 and 736.
Yeah, Tesla looks on the macro on the 1 week. Tesla is actually getting to a pretty big previous resistance, plus this petites. But again, this is macro. You want to make sure you flip down to the micro. I mean, on the short time frame, it actually looks pretty good off 300. You want to make sure that 297, 295 don't continue growing and put a rug pull in, right? So you want to make sure 300 holds. We don't really get a drop any lower there. That'd be your floor going into, I don't know, tomorrow or Friday. I would probably not be swinging a lot of tech stuff through tomorrow close because other Mag 7 earnings can impact the wider market. So just, if you're going to, like, for example, if you take Tesla, I'd probably be trying to trim into tomorrow, right? Or even today if we get a good move there. SMH at King Node. Oh, did it finally go and tap it? Way too high of a time frame. All right, King Node next week. Yeah, good point, Warren. 520, a good level. Warren, I have to check more macro for that chart thesis, but everything's getting really strong retracements. BE, do we have a level for 155? Ballpark. The good level I would have actually been a little bit higher towards 165.
Let's see, they're rolling
Yeah,
down
BE,
to
we are. What'd you say?
7390. King node just shift. It's pretty interesting here on the maps.
Yeah.
Kind of just pinned between this QQQ ceiling now and the SPY 736.
Yeah. Okay, BE is earnings. Yeah, just ignore. Yeah, Microsoft moving big. What the heck? The percentages are, it's a new feature. So if you go into your settings, it's just telling us we have the king node shown the number. The percentage just tells us this node is what percentage of the king node, right? So this is something I had done mentally all the time. I've always told people to do this. So like if you go watch from my YouTube, the volume video, I think it says use 20 to 25% of king node as your threshold of what could be a gatekeeper, right? That's like the minimum node size that can influence price. So this is just now an easier way to be able to tell without having to do the math mentally. 7325. Yeah, so actually this is good. 7320, 7325, both of those are popping. Earlier, the 660 and 662 were also popping a lot of volume on QQQ. They've chilled out a little bit.
Building a Pika stack here. This is pinning QQQ now between 669 and 668.
Mm-hmm. What was the percentage? 20 to 25% is always what I consider as like the minimum for a gatekeeper. Some people like to go, okay, 668 fully tapped, and we're getting a nice reversal here. Honestly, I missed this, but this is also just a bit of undershoot on 7390 that had grown. This is more confluence than I had realized, to be honest.
I wanted to elongate, but I didn't like how that QQQ king node shifted down, so I stayed away.
Yeah. It's also the issue for me is still like we just tested this level on SPY so many times. It's very odd.
Yeah.
All right, Z trade, SMH puts, nice. Holy cow.
Yeah, SPY SPX sells and took in the low. That's why I was looking for a QQQ call, but I don't like how this positive gamma is on QQQ.
Okay, I consider rug pulls and reverse rug pulls a lot. Now, some people fixate on them too much and they then take a trade with zero other context and just say, oh, there's a rug pull, it must play out, right? So, I mean, the reason we're cautious is because people over fixate on them because it's a very obvious chart, like node pattern to see. But yeah, I focus on them quite a lot, right? I think several times on the stream I had already mentioned like rug pull on SPX opposed reverse rug pull on SPY. And that was one of the main things I wasn't liking too much. Yeah, Paragon, it is looking like 736 really strong floor. Even QQQ, a lot of the volume is concentrated, I would say from 666 up to 669. It's all positive volume. So like there's a lot of positive volume we have to break through if we're going to get, for example, 7325 to come into play. So at least in the current moment, it looks like we have pretty strong floors across the board.
That bounce off 736 paid if you guys took.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I was so worried about that QQQ positive stack. That's 669.
Brother, the trade you don't take cost you $0.
Nah, no. Yeah, I mean, I took shorts from high day on QQQ, so I'm chilling.
Yeah, I caught that dump on SPX off the
I
rip.
took it off the 677 in the morning.
Yeah, so the QQQ, I guess technically yes, LK, but to me, the better levels are just play 669 bounce. So even with the reverse rug pulls, if you can wait for the positive note, that's going to be way stronger than playing off the negative. And then waiting for the lower, SPY, yes, we have two positive nodes and there's a reverse rug pull above, but 736 is still the strongest one. So you can have the patience to wait for the lower and get it closer to the stronger level. That's going to be a safer play. So the better confluence was down at lows. If that wasn't caught, I wouldn't be trying to play a re-entry here or play an entry here. Condors might pay. I'd be careful on condors just on the call side because we still have that 677 lingering. So there are still a lot of big upside nodes. But yeah, I guess if you're trying to do some put credit spreads off these lows, those can look pretty good. Now, if you're looking for put credit spreads, there's two ways to do this. You can do it at the money, just close it 50%. And just do it a lot closer to the money. If you want it to be something you hold all day, you'd have to be looking to be safe. You'd be looking under the 7325. I'll be honest. I need to check what the premiums would be on that. But you'd want to look for something where even if catastrophic scenario happens, you're probably still going to be up the money. Long-term port went from 60% to 50%, 15%.
Damn, what happened?
I mean, yeah, I think Glitch had posted warnings about macro. So whether that means go more cash heavy or just trim out some positions, it's yeah, I found Glitch has pretty good macro reads. Yeah, I know he only day trades or mostly day trades, but he has actually really good macro reads. So I pay pretty good attention to what he says on that aspect.
I just pay good attention to whatever Glitch says. It's the strat now.
Yeah. Until you show me someone who trades better than Glitch, then he's going to be the top person I listen to.
You think
Yeah,
Glitch ever like feels the pressure of that many people listening to him?
Well, I mean, he's not
No,
giving
I
like
don't think so.
direct calls. He's just sharing his ideas.
He's not giving direct calls, but like he has, I think he's been trading long enough that he has a lot of confidence in himself.
Yeah.
So there's also that I think he doesn't care too much what people say, and then also he just has a lot of confidence to
I don't even
play
think he
off of.
cares
Yeah,
what
it's
people
valid
think.
too.
Pressure makes diamonds. That's
If
a
it's
good
long
one.
term and it's stock, oh, I think you're replying to Unique Man. He doesn't post his trades till after, but he posts a lot of trade ideas, right? So, and with the way Twitter is, even if an idea is right or wrong, they're still going to give you shit for it. So, he's still putting a reputation on the line, even if there's no money on it. Hey, Lerold. Yeah, exactly. Like Glitch has better things to worry about, like with the company. Well, his family first, and then the company, Skyler, all that. He doesn't have too much time to be trolling with people on Twitter. Yep, Mitch, I agree with you. Lero, can you speak now?
Is it working?
Yep, it's working.
Morning, fellas.
Morning.
Lerold.
Morning.
Sui, Glitch. I've only seen Glitch trade futures way long ago. He's doing. I mean, he makes so much money with options. He just doesn't even need futures. And futures is usually if you need a lower starting point and something that's a bit more scalable. But when you're at the scale he's at, he doesn't. Futures is not going to matter.
Futures is easier too. Glitch just wants a challenge.
Well, the thing is, options, if you have timing as good as Glitch, it's actually, you can make more money due to like gamma squeezes, right? Futures is always going to be linear profits.
Yes,
Whereas
sir.
on options, you can get a bit more exponential gains depending on your entries. So what I think of Brun, I think one, this is a very low volume map, so there's very little to go off of. So when we have low volume maps, you have to trade the chart a bit more strictly. Did this thing IPO in May? I mean, yeah, Brun, if it does not double bottom at this IPO low, this thing is cooked. Or there's going to be no levels to go off of. But I mean, there's not much else to say on Brun. It's either a liquidity hunt or we're going under, and this, who knows when it comes back up. In the mindset of taking a trade every second, I don't think Glitch is going to tell you he's taking a trade every second, whether he's doing futures or options. Should you sell QQQ puts already? No, I would have sold puts when we were at 736 or at 668. So if you're playing reversals, whether you buy, whether you sell spreads, whatever your strategy you're doing, you still got to play the same reversal point, right? Futures has no time decay. So for most people, they find it easier. Some people who have a lot of issues with sizing though, and like stop loss and entries, the sizing for zero aspect of index of options actually helps them. So there's pros and cons. Glitch said no Falcon, but can we do a 1K challenge? Sign Prince, I'm not sure. That's not my decision to make. But I suppose you can make the comment to him. Yep, exactly, Mitch. Gabe Too Saucy, what is the ticker that you're seeing that's glitched? Yeah, Juice overall, Yes, but to me, the reversal's already occurred, right? So this is more of a chase. But yeah, we do have. If we can get this reverse rug pull SPY to stick around and like we break the 7400, which has held as a resistance many times already today, then we can go higher, right? But as you can see, 7400 is still holding its potential resistance. So again, just because it's the fifth, sixth tap does not mean we just start playing the breakout, right? We still stick to reversals in our rules.
I don't know if it's been brought up, but I'm seeing a reverse rug start to build on 738 SPY. VIX is also slightly moving back towards pivot, which is kind of indicative of a VIX crush. So that reverse rug at 738 could play out here. I would just, for me personally, I would want to see us hold because we are rejecting this level. We've rejected this level a couple times already. I'd kind of want to see that 738 break and hold for that setup, that reverse rug to be valid. So don't just ape into calls would be my recommendation, but that setup could potentially play out if we have the SPY spot price up above 738.
Yeah, so 738 has grown. So yeah, like Connor said, kind of retested this dark pool, pushed a little bit into the reverse rug. But again, this is going into a big level here, right? 7400. So you want to either play small scalp into that and then trim lead runners, but you cannot assume that we're just going to break it. Although it's looking more and more likely if this keeps testing.
Yeah, I would say for extra confluence, 7,400 would need to break and hold. As Nico said, that is a pretty big psych level. And if you look at the charts, we've rejected that level several times, and that is the level we're just chopping between. But if we do get some momentum and we break and hold above that, that reverse rug could play out. I'm also watching VIX as it's kind of trending back towards pivot. With any kind of strength on a VIX crush, we could get that pop up above. So just keep that in
Whoever asked
mind.
about
Again, don't
Go ahead,
chase.
Connor. Yeah. Whoever asked about
you're good.
futures, we have NQES. Just make sure you're using NQ1, ES1, and use derived orbs. And that's how you're going to get all the nodes to pop up. So NQ is just QQQ, obviously. And then I believe, what is it? SPX is,
Yes.
I think SPY is the diamonds and SPX is the triangles. Yeah. Yeah, that looks about right.
Yo, let's find some single ticker plays.
Alon Weeble is really nice. And now you can do conditional orders based on the chart, even from your phone. So like I haven't even messed around with that, but I'm going to because yeah. Robinhood just looks nice. Functionality wise, it's trash.
Yo, don't be dissing my Robinhood.
No, I mean I use it too, but it's like there's key things that are missing on Robinhood. Like you can't bracket order an option, which is still insane to me. Yeah, Oracle double bottom, I already mentioned earlier. And I think it's at a gatekeeper as well.
Yeah, that 115. That's what I was looking at yesterday. I'm pretty sure that was the king node. Or it was accumulating.
Let's see. And then what is this Apple people are asking about? I don't trade Apple too much, but or like at all. Yeah, Apple, you can try. But I will say this Apple 335 yesterday was the same setup, right? Where you have a strong king node, but then the rest of the volume is above it. And we broke above, right? Because the risk there is, yes, this is the strongest node, but it may not hold. There's no volume really to pull it the other way. And some of this volume above may drag it through that king node, if that makes sense. So I don't prefer these plays because we're basically, you're trying to short the bottom of the range instead of the top of the range. Oh, after hours trading? I mean, yeah, after hours trading is good, but unless you're forced to do it, it's a lot of times it's worth the mental break. All right, let's see. CoreWeave. Yeah, I think CoreWeave I had looked at earlier. We have a macro level like 64, 65. So that's something to look into. second here, y'all. You can't do conditional Schwab either. Oh, interesting. I don't know which are the only brokerages that allow conditionals.
Can someone find a ticker at a king node? Let's try to find a banger. What's Microsoft at?
For Schwab, if you want to do conditionals, you have to switch. You have to trade from a Thinkorswim. You can't do it from the regular Schwab app. But the Thinkorswim mobile sucks ass. So you got to
Reverse
do it from
rug
like
is setting up.
Thinkorswim web.
Thanks, Laryl.
Reverse rug here is setting up on SPY.
I mean, this already played out, right? Off the positive note tap.
Or the reverse rug
Yeah,
on
right.
SPY.
Like for upside.
730. Yeah.
Right, like the reverse rug is you play tap 737. That's the reverse rug right there. Right, like for me, I always view the reverse rugs like you want to have it push into the negative node, so spring loads it, right? So you gotta take those entries. Well, there's cleaner to take the entries near the positive node. So I retest there, and the reverse rug is just propelling this upwards.
Yeah. Here we go.
Prop firm for credit spreads, use options funding. Look for a message from John. I think he has a promo code with him.
He's also doing a giveaway.
Oh yeah, I don't know where that announcement is, but it's somewhere. What spot prices are used for ES and NQ? Just spot price data purchased from whatever, I don't know the exchange, but whatever the exchange is.
RKLB is already sending off to 60, so I personally won't touch it. I'm pretty sure Oracle already double bottomed this going, so
Yeah,
And
index is bottoming out, then a lot of the ticker double bottoms probably playing out already.
Did Iron bounce off 33?
I'll check it for you. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's at it right now, bouncing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause that was the bottom of the range. I wanted to short 35 through 33, but I missed that move.
No, that
So
was perfect.
33,
It's
33
exactly
we
what
should get a bounce too.
Yeah, I'm so mad I didn't long that low.
All right, so yeah, again, reverse rug pull there. So the fact 737 had been growing constantly, right? If you remember earlier in the morning, those reversals, 737 was like 40% of 736, right? Now it's pushing up to 80%. It's coming more in line. So that's telling you, okay, the ceiling is slowly shifting or it's gradually growing volume. Or not the ceiling, sorry, the floor sort of being dragged up a little, just very slowly, right? Yeah, Sherpa, that's fine. It's if you're waiting for the safe entry, it's the right thing to do. It's just we miss a fill here or there. That's always gonna happen. Nothing wrong with that. All right, looks like the 7410 actually came into play. So this node has been there around, I think I mentioned it 20 minutes ago. 7390 puts. No, I don't think that's a good idea. SPY has big floor here. Like that risk reward is like $10, right? Very small risk reward.
Yo, Nico, what is this meta map? Can you let me know?
Suster barely missed it. What is the meta map?
Yeah, can you take a
Did
look
Meta
at it?
not have our earnings? Yeah, I'll look at it.
Oh, it has
Wait,
earnings. Okay, like this
Who
makes
has
sense.
earnings? Did someone just text me who has earnings? I keep
There's a lot of earnings this week. I saw
Meta
this
has
in the
earnings.
node. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, Meta's junk.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
Meta's pretty junk regardless for beginners because like it's just so expensive, right? Like the underlying ticker is expensive, so then all the contracts get super, super expensive as well. So I don't. I mean, with the 3 days a week expiration, it's a little better now, but I usually stay pretty away from it.
Has earnings too, so that 300 note I'd be very wary of. I was looking at that too, but that 300 note's gonna kill, or earnings.
Mhm. All right. Sorry, give me a second. I need to message something to that glitch. Jesus Christ, how many messages?
Literal, do we long in CoreWeave at 62?
If it's there, hell yeah. Because that's the bottom on Iron, that's the bottom on CoreWeave, and I think MBIS hit its downside target, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So
The
I don't.
62 doesn't look bad on CoreWeave.
I'll
Yeah,
try
last I
something.
checked last night, there wasn't any lower in MBIS. So if since we hit those floors, I don't know how long it'll take, but I'll go into my futures and long those.
The MBIS is at a huge double bottom. If you look at well, not huge, but it's at a double bottom.
This CoreWeave 65 was pretty strong, but the
Dude,
62
CoreWeave, all
note was
those
still lit up.
5 and 0 levels on CoreWeave usually give really strong reactions. Like 80 and 70 both gave huge bounces over the past month.
That's what I'm looking at right now. Look at 95, 100.
Wait, Airbnb positive node below and Atlas negative gamma above? You're saying like a reverse rug pull? Yeah, we do have this kind of reverse rug pull here. 150. Dude, Airbnb, what the hell? Has been hella strong, even with weak market. What's going on with Airbnb? Airbnb, we are sort of approaching this top here. This 151-ish was a previous rejection spot. I don't like Airbnb too much. It's ran a lot, right? It's already ran $15 past week. I probably wouldn't be trading it. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. It is just with all the color switches, it's probably going to shift a bit more towards positive versus negative versus color based. But you can still say the colors as long as the default ones all know what you mean. But yeah, you are understanding the reverse rug pull correctly. Due to how extended it is, it's not something I'd actually trade, even though I think your read is fine. AMD reverse rug. Yeah, we do have. Yeah, we do have AMD there. The 450 level's kind of nice actually because it's held next week as well, or sorry, for Friday. But we're hitting 450 from below actually, so we're not actually. Usually the reverse rugs, you want to see them coming from the top. Yeah, I don't know if I like AMD there. All right, 7410 again.
PQQ 673 now. Grew a lot.
Yeah. Did we take anything? No, I don't trade too much while I'm on stream. I need to open my window thingy. Haven't even been looking at the options chain. Cleanest trade for me would have been either first tap of 736. The shitty part about that one, I would have missed that one though because we did not sweep SPY previous low day. After that, it probably would have been this full tap of 668. That would have been the next big one. Blair. Oh, these are earnings. Okay, thanks, Blair. Yeah, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this, and if anyone asks about any of these tickers, I'm not gonna answer it. All right. Got a few messages flying around. All right, sorry, just catching up a couple messages. Bear flag on SPY chart. Maybe we dump into afternoon. Potentially. It's been a while since I tracked bear flags. But if 736, 737 stick around, I don't see why. If those levels hold, there's not going to be big dump. There's really no reason to. We also have a lot of positive volume on QQQ as well. Also, like, QQQ already gapped down, dropped. QQQ down $14, right, from where it closed yesterday. So, there's only so much downside to be had on a day. Same thing as yesterday. Like, we had a huge drop down, and eventually, like, you're just going to get exhausted, right? You're not going to have a full trend all day. Jerkasi Oracle. Yeah, I think the Oracle double bottom is fine. Yeah. I would still be trimming as you go, Jerkasi, right? Don't take these targets as guarantees. So, I mean, yeah, have your plan for exiting, but still trim as you go. But yeah, that Oracle double bottom played out really nice. This double top, I really like any of the ceilings I'm seeing right now.
But I looked at my QQQ contracts I was gonna take. They're up 170%.
Yeah, any kind of calls are up huge here.
Damn.
So yeah, the annoying part is they just tested this level so many times. I think that.
Yeah, that was the only thing that threw me off.
Yeah. So yeah, in terms of upcoming ceilings, we have the 7410. If they looks like they may be flipping this level, we have like a little baby reverse rug pull there. Looks like King Node SPX about to flip to 7450. SPY's upside, QQQ's upside as well. So the next ceilings, looks like they're stepping in like 676 ish. Potentially, we have some positive volume there on QQQ. So next big ceiling is actually just a chart level. It's probably going to be our PM high from yesterday, which is up at like 739.85 on SPY. So yeah, if you're in any kind of longs, be trimming into that level, I would say. Disney King rolls. Wait, what? Disney King Node rolled up? Are you tracking Disney that closely? Yeah, true. Disney King Node flipped from 96 to 101 in case you're in that trade from yesterday. Yeah, Nav, yeah. I was gonna say I don't know if anyone I don't know if anyone trades Disney, but 738 retest. Okay, yeah, like retest reverse rug pull there. Base trade, are you saying beach ball for downside or upside? I mean, beach ball for upside is gone. Don't trade that, please. Disney calls paid 800% on Friday. All right, maybe I need to start checking Disney every day. That's insane. All right, we're getting towards that SPY level. I have to start it out from way before, so this is a level that has 1, 2, 3. On the macro, this is the third test of it, but this has rejected before. So we didn't quite sweep like the swing high from yesterday, but the level is roughly there. Roughly, we're in the ballpark. So again, I don't like the bearish case here. Like I think there's still quite a few floors below, but you still want to be trimming if you're in calls. All right, Benjamin. All right, Jojo, drive safe, but I'm glad you made some money there. Yeah, maybe no more trading rest of the drive. Although I can't judge too hard. I've done that one before as well. All right, we have a rug pull here, 7,430. So it is more like of a gatekeeper. Like I know the king node is higher, obviously 7,450. So it's more of like a gatekeeping rug pull. It's actually a reverse rug pull as well as both, but that's still a potential slowdown zone. And we're also pushing closer. We're still about $1 under, but we're getting closer to these positive stack on a QQQ. So that combined with the fact that we just bounced $4 SPY and like what 8 or 6 on a QQQ, there might be something slowing down, so don't get too greedy. We slipping a ceiling in 740. Yeah, 740's been there. All right, double top SPY looks like we're getting reaction here. So again, hopefully people trimmed left runners or just exited there.
I threw in chat as well that we're approaching that VIX pivot. VIX pivot is a great place to trim. VIX pivot today is 1824. We hit 1822 on VIX, and we are now rejecting back down. So sorry, I did not call it out, but I put it in the chat. Hopefully you guys took those trims.
All right, thanks, Connor.
Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Hopefully some people caught that reverse rug.
All right, LK Tesla. August 21 calls at 350. Holy. When did you get into this, LK? I guess it depends when the entry was. 350 still seems really far out. The Tesla already had earnings, right? So if you're targeting the like OPEX node, so a lot of times after earnings, I'll be like, this is a huge warning, right? If you see tickers with huge upside nodes into VEX on OPEX, and they just had earnings and dropped, right? This is normal because those nodes that are up there are based on old nodes from earnings, right? It takes time for the VEX to roll down volume. It's not as quick as the GEX. So it's a huge caution. Like I typically just completely skip those trades because I view those as nodes that are basically dead and that are going to eventually roll down. So I'm going to look into Tesla let me look into more expirations for you, but that is I'm huge on that as a warning. The fuck is this Tesla map? Yeah, so for me, this 425 that's not happening, right? Where a lot of this volume is going to just keep rolling down to maybe 370, 400, maybe even lower, 350, etc. Right? Especially after you tank off earnings like it did. So yeah, just big warning for the future when you're getting some of these. So 350 is still possible actually. Like it's close enough in that even with the roll down of this target, you may still be fine. But it's just a general comment. But DM me the actual entry and like that stuff. I could take a closer look later. Crazy peekaboo on QQQ. What, the 673? That's on NVIDIA. VIX pivot levels are posted by architects for subscription on Twitter, I believe. I think he rarely posts them within Asgard.
Sometimes
Right,
he
NVIDIA
will,
has this-
sometimes he won't.
Got you. Yeah, that's what I figured. Why is this not snapped? Whatever. NVIDIA has this kind of support resistance flip going on, so I'd be careful. We have a rug pull if you use Friday's volume, so just be careful with that. Around 200, 197. Which I think is what y'all are pointing out. Who was this? Base trader? Hot Rod, is this mobile, desktop, what, iPhone, Android? AVGO, what will be the target for Friday? I mean, again, these maps are better at telling you where we're likely to react, not where we're exactly going to end. But yeah, I guess AVGO is probably also a good example, right? It looks like probably this volume is going to roll lower. So I'd be expecting more towards like 400. We had a nice bounce off 370 actually in these dark pools. There we go. But again, the Mag 7 earnings can throw almost any setup out the window if they cause an index gap up, gap down. QQQ. Wait, what happened with QQQ? The 685 is what user 3W you're talking about? I mean, yeah, like around FOMC, like on FOMC days, this is pretty typical. Like you'll see some just huge positions pop up. So same reason, like SPX has huge downside, QQQ popping a huge upside node is, I don't know. I'm not reading up too much into it just because it's all FOMC stuff. All right, so yeah, hopefully y'all trimmed into this double top using yesterday's afternoon high. It looks like we're coming down into 7410 and 673 actually. So you've had a big move. This is a decent retrace here. Let's see if those hold. Retrace or dump, I mean, we don't know. We don't know until it happens. But to me, this is, you have decent 2 out of 3 confluence. It's just the risk reward. You only have you don't have too much upside. So you can potentially scalp this. You have a decent.
Bro, my short entry on NQ got missed by 5 points, and I was gonna short it back down.
Damn.
It is what it is.
Yeah. DVN rolled up his dark pool level. Is this actually a play? I mean, there's not really a floor to go off of on this one.
Another SPX reverse rug. Where is the reverse rug here?
So outside's very light if you're gonna play DVN. If you're just chasing those nodes.
Negative. This is not a reverse.
Yeah. So like to me, I think this is something that'll become a bit more apparent with these like fade and dim settings. Is like rug pulls work out way better when both nodes are strong, right? Not just when one of them. So right now, this is more just a 7-4-10 bounce than a reverse rug pull, right? Because that negative node is so small.
The first time SPY is like actually negative gamma. That's how you know moves are actually going to move.
Yeah, so we'll see if these levels don't hold. Yeah, we can go a bit lower. But yeah, let's just see what happens with the SPX QQQ. So again, there is confluence. This is not as good of a trade as anything that's happened already because we've already pushed $4 or $5 on indexes. Retrace $1, now you're counting on the move continuing, right? So the break and retest, even if they're very clean like confluence, you're limited in your risk reward is a lot worse than for the original move, right? So always take that into account. So I always view them more as scalps.
Can you hear me, Nico?
Yeah.
Bro, I just got logged out. Like I'm not even on the website.
Yeah, Glitch found out your account sharing, man. Banned.
I'm back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is there a way to reduce opacity of Dark Pool and Atlas? No. The only thing you can do is you can take off like the little, if you go to the settings here, you can turn it to on hover instead of always showing. All right, so it looks like we're reacting off these the levels that I had mentioned. Yeah, the SPY, yeah, SPY's kind of range binding, right? You know, we're kind of range bound on it. So that's what I was saying earlier. If you're playing upside here, you're expecting a smaller move, right? There's not too much space to go. But yeah, scalp here definitely is working right now. You just want to be trimming into that, you know, this level that rejected already quite a few times.
Yeah, I love when Nico's on the stages. The market moves so nice.
Who knows what's gonna happen next week? Everyone's gonna be out next week, man. I'll see if I can
It's
pull a
gonna be
Friday.
like the worst week. Watch. So people are
Yeah.
gonna just because there's nobody on.
If anyone is like fairly dependent for like learning aspect and confluence of the from the stages, then I'd recommend you size very small next week. Definitely size down if you still feel you're very dependent. If you're more autonomous, you're fine on your own, then you know continue as it is. It's gonna make no difference. But yeah, please, I don't want to go to a 3-day boot camp, come back and have 300 messages and everyone's blown up completely.
Are we doing live trades at the bootcamp?
It depends. I mean, a lot of it's teaching focused, but yeah, like literally usually do an hour or so a day of just
Alright,
like
so
live reads
I have one full port trade.
and notional support. Oh, so I will still be replying to messages. I'm just saying I can't stream stages. So I better not come back to. I better not be in the SPX regards and seeing like people blowing up everywhere. Rivian looks good off. Yeah, off this dark pool up to 18. I would trim around 16.7, 16.8. Like this is a level that's rejected twice. And even the 17.10, actually, there's a strong bottom in the past. Yeah, we have a super strong support resistance flip here at 16.7. So again, 18 can be your stretch target, but that does not mean you hold full position all the way there. That's always going to be my opinion. All right, so this scalp was really quick. I don't know. I was looking at the options chain. I wonder if that even hit 30%. But yeah, Shan, that's a good point. Like the Rivian reversal already started, right? Yeah, last bootcamp, Nick, well, Darth Trader, he smacked some like huge profit, I think, on the Friday.
It's the GOAT.
Why does MNQ U6? I think MNQ, the NQ you see on Atlas is going to line up with NQ exclamation point on TradingView and not actually the NQU. Nick, can you confirm this actually? For Pengy? Pengy's asking. Cam the Don, what are you? Is your eval on Tradeovate, NinjaTrader, Project X? Like what platform is it actually on? Because only some of them can be linked to TradingView for futures. All right, Oracle for Shan, nice. Sign prints. I just look at absolute value. I don't look at the color, or I don't look at the sign. So for me, absolute value always goes first, right? And if you go to like the YouTube series on my channel, Heat Seeker Fundamentals, that's why volume is the first video in it, right? Not positive versus negative. To me, that's something that's secondary because that tells us how price is gonna behave in a particular area. But what tells you is this level likely to hold or not is the volume itself and the confluence you can see, especially for indexes. All right, so we bounced like, what do we bounce here? We bounced like $6-7 on SPX, but now we're flushing through. So for lower, yeah, we got this 738, maybe support resistance flip on SPY. SPX also support resistance flip at these levels. And see if maybe some of this positive gamma on QQQ can help slow price down.
This was a 2-cent tap from VIX pivot, by the way, for that rejection. Again, I put it in the chat. Hopefully you guys caught it if you were long here.
All right, Ken. Yep, have a good one. Yeah, let's see if this 738 SPY can have some influence here. We also have a bit of a reverse rug pull QQQ. This 672 is strengthening. It says grown 50% gain in 15 minutes. So let's see if that can hold. But we have decent level on ES as well. Yeah, I wonder if they'll hold it here. We go lower. Be nice if they give a small bounce. 50% retracement. I heart SPX. I don't know if you mean like you're targeting a 50% retracement or that you're waiting for that retracement to occur to then play the bounce. I have the link to the guy that I don't. Someone can probably share it in here. All right, so there's the bounce. Again, chart level SPX. Yeah, I think I listed enough things there. Yeah, kind of like this here, you're pulling 30% literally in a minute. Any noobs in here should know. FOMC tomorrow. Yeah. A lot of times, good point, Sherpa. Thanks. So again, tomorrow, everyone should be out of trades by 2 p.m. They just blow up the market at 2 p.m. basically, based on whoever the guy is and what he says. So I would not be trading after 2 p.m.
Remember in like March we had a holy trinity on FOMC and I took QQQ puts and ran like 700%.
Jesus. Is it correct that King Node is a level dealers intend to pin price at close? Mashmeister, yes and no. So like levels that already got bounced off of King Node wise, price can push away and that volume ends up rolling higher and shifting away. So what looks like a King Node in the moment may roll elsewhere. So I always tell people, these are moving targets. That's what nodes are, right? Because they shift constantly. Volume goes a higher, lower. It goes all over. So it's very dangerous to say we're going to pin price there at 11 a.m. when there's 5 hours left in the day where price is going to reshuffle everywhere, right? So I would be very careful with that kind of logic, Mashmeister. It retraced 50% of the move for the day, so it can just pump off. Wait, if this candle did not move options premiums, there's no way. This thing just bounced $1 in like 2 minutes. Yeah, SPY is pushing a lot of volume lower. There's a 734 actually, which is, so that's new. Previously we had 736, 737 as our stronger levels, but now 734 is coming in as King Node. So trades are not meant to be entered after they bounce. They're meant to be entered as we tap the level. So like when you say you're going to play a bounce off 738, you're trying to catch your entry at 738, right? Not after it puts in a green candle. Because otherwise, the reversal is the point that it flips, right? So when you have your chart level or you have your node, you're trying to enter here. The logic is you look at your options chain a little bit early, like let's say 20 cents early, just to make up a number, right? All right, if your contract costs $100 here, you know you want to catch it a little bit lower. You can probably limit buy in at 80, $90, right? So you're trying to basically have a resting order down here, which some brokerages allow you to do on the chart, but a lot of them don't. Like Robinhood Legend, Webull with conditionals, and I think IBKR lets you do this. So you basically have your order just sitting there waiting to be filled. And then once that wick forms, you're filled here. As soon as we pop, that's already the 20, 30% you need. So don't make it a reaction game. If it's a reaction game, you're never going to win. The market moves way faster than you're ever going to be able to react. Hopefully that makes sense, 3G9. All right, I think we got some news.
Oh my god.
Just by the way these candles are moving. So again, the setup was there. Yeah, the news is obviously it's just luck, but sometimes you get luck for you, sometimes against you. What does it mean if a node above or below strike goes from negative to positive? I don't track that, Mule. I think Architect pays attention to that. But for me, if it's flipping from negative to positive, it's a small node, so it doesn't really matter. So this is just an air pocket flipping one way or the other. So unless it grows a ton on the positive side after, then it's not a big deal. No, Abby, it's fine. You can share options funding here. Just do your best to share Wix's code and his link. I don't know if you want to share your own. I mean, that's fine.
Use code Nico in the Fortnite item shop.
No, I don't have one. I don't have one. But I was just saying in case Abby has his own. Yeah, so if y'all have losses on Trump news candles, like you're not really doing anything wrong if your win rate's really high outside of that, right? Like news is news. It's either going to go for you, against you. It's not something you can control. So you should not be, don't think too hard, right? Some setups just fail because of news.
Can't predict news.
All right, base trader caught that, I guess. Good stuff. Is there documentation about peekaboos? No. I'll talk with John, see if we add it. I don't use the term, but to me, peekaboos, they're just nodes that have just popped up on your threshold of 20, 25, 30%, depending what settings you have. Maybe they just popped into your top 5. But the whole logic with the peekaboo is that that node has now grown and is sort of a ceiling or a floor has been slid in, right? I'm not telling people to play news. I'm just saying if you're already in calls, you can use news to trim. Like you got lucky there.
All right, time to get an options funding account. I'm gonna start trading options again.
Dude, those accounts, I forgot I had one, bro, and I got rebuild yesterday. So,
Well, now you gotta
honestly, I need to be. What?
Now you gotta put it to use.
Yeah, I know. So I took a trade yesterday. I just completely forgot I had it. Honestly, I should just trade those while I'm on streams. So I'll probably leave
That's what
my
I was
personal
gonna do.
capital alone. I don't like to trade real money while I'm like answering questions and stuff, but options funding, I guess I could.
Because yesterday we caught a nice Tesla play for like 100+%, and I only took it with one contract because I wasn't gonna go full size on it, and then it ran. So like on this options thing, I'm just gonna size into it.
Mm-hmm. Jojo, I had answered earlier. You might not be here, but I typically I'll trim any play 30 to 40% profits. Like I'll trim, put break even, and leave runners. That's my approach. Vinny, what is very accurate? I think I missed a message from you. Yeah, peekaboos, it just depends where they slide it in, right? Like if price is going up right now and they slide in a huge node. So like let's say 740, this is technically a peekaboo. It later grew to be a king node. But this was originally a peekaboo, it grew really strong, and then this rejected down. It just depends, is the level that's sliding in below or above price? User 3G9. Profit target, I don't know. Someone send the link for options funding. I don't know this stuff off the top
It's in
of my
chat
head.
right there.
Yes. You can do 0 DTE. In fact, most of them require you to. I think this is one of the few firms you can swing on.
Yeah, I took Intel calls like a while back on this, and then I liquidated myself.
Sure, but if you size appropriately, they're not going to stop you out of positions. Even if you have $1,000 of drawdown, if you show up and buy 1 or 2 SPY contracts, it's impossible that they're going to, close the trade. So just learn how the risk rules work and make sure you follow them.
They also have a consistency rule too, so you have to watch out on how much you make.
Yeah, true. So I don't know how it is for options fund. I think it's 30%. So what I always tell people is like just target 10 to 20% on a day, and you'll still pass the account within, let's say, three weeks, within a month.
It depends on what account you get. I'm personally getting the 50Ks.
The consistency depends on that.
Wait, what?
The consistency depends on what size account you get.
Yeah, because some accounts you don't. Or wait, let me look at the rules and I can read it out.
I'm pretty sure they all have it. I'm almost positive. Yeah, sizing is what defines everything, right? Whether you're trading your own capital, prop firms, anything, sizing is, if you do not have good sizing, then you're going to run into issues anywhere. Now, if you do have very good sizing, like for futures prop firms, options props, they're a very low investment way to get some pretty decent money. So look into the growth versus express, though. One of them is end of day drawdown. I'd probably recommend that. Trailing drawdown is trickier to navigate. You have to be like very small sized. Oh, express accounts don't have consistency. Got you, Abby.
Oh, they don't?
Just double check about is it trailing intraday drawdown, and does it use the peak of your equity curve, or is it end of day?
So on my 50K account, I have a 30% consistency rule with my profit target being 6K. So whatever 6K times 0.3 is how much you can make in a day. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 1,800. Yes, it is. So you can't make, at least with these 50K accounts, you can't make more than 1,800 in a day. And you need to hit 6K to pass the account.
Yeah, so for trailing drawdown, you literally have to size like baby size. That's the way to get around those. You either size nothing, or you can
Or
use a
you
very tight
size high V.
trailing stop loss, which is really hard to trade with, though.
On my futures accounts, when it came to trailing drawdown, I put 5 minis into A+ setup and passed it in one trade.
Oh, but you're just full porting to pat. Like
That's
on
on
the funded, you're not gonna rip that.
No, that's on the funded, because some of the fundeds, the way they work is you start end of day drawdown and then intraday on the funded.
And you just full port to pass those? The hell?
Yeah.
I mean, that's yeah.
I mean, because on the My Funded Futures account, they're daily payouts. So if I hit one banger with like 5 minis, I could take a payout right away.
Yeah, so you're basically going all or nothing. It's like account blown or payout.
I mean, yeah.
I mean that. Yeah. I mean, your win rate's high enough that the math works.
I don't
But, like,
recommend it, obviously, but
yeah, if y'all are gonna be doing like you're trading a funded, this is the only funded you have, whatever. Just when you're dealing with trailing drawdown, figure out the rules and just size 2 micros, 3 micros, and then you'll slowly be able to stack. And eventually, you're gonna hit whatever they usually have a limit. Once you clear that limit, it converts to static drawdown. So you have to be super disciplined. Once you flip the static drawdown, you get a lot more flexibility. But yeah, I mean, if these are like if the profit and fee is not a big deal for you, then yeah, you can go ahead full port, do whatever you want. But that is a very aggressive way, and you're probably gonna have to cycle through several accounts, right? If you want to just have a slow burn one where it's just because the other thing to remember is funded accounts don't cost money, right? Once you pay the activation fee, you don't pay a monthly fee. So you can take them as slow as you want. On the future side, I think option side, they do continue charging.
one of my take profit trader accounts, I've had it since January.
Yeah, like I have so I trade futures as like to not degen real money. Like I use it as a outlet. I think I explained this to Virgin actually when I met him. So like I've had one funded account since like December, right? And that thing just sits there and I trade a single micro, and it's just to prevent me from when I know I'm on till or I'm about to take a trade that's not that good, I just go take it on the profit. So I pay what $50 a month to just not lose real money, so it's fine. Well, now it's funded, so I don't pay anything, and it prevents you from losing money.
We're just sending right now.
Yeah, so again, this retest the negative nodes, support resistance flips. Yeah, all of these great play here. Yeah, Connor, we squeezing, but like I just don't like saying we're about
I'm
to
sorry, bro.
Connor, but like for someone new, I'm not gonna say we're about to squeeze because then they're gonna chase the play, right? So I
my
don't
bad,
like I don't like saying that.
You'd already want to be
If we're in runners, absolutely. But the entry was earlier off that 738 flip.
You're right. I don't want to be a bad influence.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like as this grows, right? Like you don't know. If someone started trading 2 weeks ago, who knows how they're gonna take comments.
Yeah,
You
that's
have to
true.
be pretty cautious on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oracle moved nice. Sadly, I didn't get in time. We're running to that 120. I was looking at this Tesla 305, but I was too slow on it.
Bro, Connor, just like I said, bro, Susser chased it, bro. All right, luckily it worked. But please don't be chasing plays all the time, y'all.
Hey, all right. I'm not doing that again.
I don't think many people did. Nah, Susser's just
All right, good.
Holy squeeze. Yo, so this
I
negative
don't-
stack looks like it is coming into play. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It faded off.
So
I thought
the
it was
re-
going away. It is coming back.
The reason why I said that, I mean, I don't just like talk out of my ass, but we broke VIX pivot. We kind of had a crush going on, and then King Node flipped over from 737 to 743 and grew pretty quickly. So again, sorry if I don't
No,
want
no.
to seem like I'm just like throwing out like BS, but there was a thesis behind that. Sorry.
No, and that kind of read is important though. Like if you're managing runners and stuff like that, it is important to be thinking in that fashion.
Yeah.
It's just I want to be clear for anyone listening. Like if you've already seen price bounce $2 on SPY, you don't want to be chasing there, right? This is more so if you're already in some runners and you're trying to figure out where to trim, then those are good signs to look for. So I'm trying to be extra clear about that just because
My runner is up 240%. Thank you for the call, Nico.
but yeah, thanks, Connor. Sorry, I wasn't trying to like shoot.
I'm
down what you're
sorry, dude.
saying.
I
Like,
know
it's
you're
still
trying
good
to
info.
teach here. I'm not trying to get in the way of what you guys are trying to do here. I'm sorry.
No,
Won't
man,
do
you're
that
helping
again.
for sure. So for people who don't know, Connor's been in this group a lot. He's worked mostly with John. But yeah, the progression, he's had an insane progression from when did you join, Connor? Like early this year? Maybe last year even?
About a year ago, yeah. I've been really focusing on the Trinity since January though.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna yell
so I
bang.
think
Sorry.
I think Connor's actually a good example of like sometimes you have to hunker down and sometimes it's better, right? Don't be splitting indexes versus individuals. You gotta focus on one thing and just hack away at it, right? And I think John himself is a really big example of that. I guess myself as well, Connor. But I think Connor, John are like they full focus on indexes, and those two dudes are like cracked. Whereas I was always splitting time based on work and whatever I could figure out, but I never like fully focused as hard as they did on one thing.
I will say, like when the indices are chopping and you tell yourself I'm just an SPX trader,
Wait,
that's a very dangerous mindset to get into because then you feel like you need to force when SPX is not giving you anything. So if you want to like focus on indices, you just need to be very picky with what you take. And you need to recognize the biggest like key for me to learn indices the way I did was recognizing that when the maps are garbage, like don't force anything because you will talk yourself into a play that's not there. You will have a higher
So
probability
like
of being profitable if you take less trades. That is absolutely correct.
the human mind will always we argue for ourselves, right? We don't want to be wrong. So when we have a certain idea, a lot of times we skip looking for what goes against us, right? So another big thing I'm huge on is if you're looking for a bullish play, argue what is bearish right now, right? And you should have an absence of stuff going against you, and those are going to be your best trades. But if you only look for what is in your favor, you're probably going to find it, right? But you always need to argue what is also against you. And if that means you don't come back until the next day, then so be it, right? Okay, sorry, we haven't been looking at the maps too much. It's SPX, we have this double negative. Okay, I think Jules started his stages, so I'll probably hop off soon. People can pivot over there. But we have SPX putting a double negative here, and also a positive note on 677 QQQ. That lines up with basically a high of day, right? So pretty strong chart level there. I'm trying to see. This 677 is actually a huge support resistance level going back a few days. So what day is this? This is from July 27. So double bottom there. This may be flipping to a double top. We just need to see. The only thing I don't like is SPY still has so much higher volume. I'll be honest, but we have decent confluence here. I'll be honest, from these negative nodes and then the QQQ. Hold SPX. No, I would definitely trim if you're at 220. Holy, nice play. Avi, thanks for sending that in. Yeah, John, I think that they reached out to partner with me. I didn't know you can check Twitter DMs from people that are not your friends. And I discovered that 2 nights ago. So I had like 30 messages to go through. All right. Hopefully people are trimming into this double top on QQQ. Connor, you had a good psychological document you wrote a while back, right?
Yeah, I still have that.
Can you resend that to me? I read through it. I just don't remember what it was. So I might
Yeah,
send that out.
I have some A+ setups that another user actually like helped me put together, and then I made my own psychological document. If you guys want, I'll send it to you, Nico, as well. I'll send you
Yeah,
both so
send it
you
to
can
me and
just
then
submit if you would like.
Yep. I'll read through it again just to double check. But yeah, I might send that
Yeah,
out.
man. Yeah, I'll
I
shoot that to
think,
you.
Today.
I gotta run though. I gotta go take care of some stuff with the FAA. So I will get. I'll be around tomorrow as well. So safe
All
safe
right.
trading, everybody. Be smart. Thank you, Nico, for having me.
No, thanks to you, man. Putting
Yeah,
in your
man.
insight. We appreciate it. Really
I'll
helpful.
talk to you later, bro.
All right. See you,
Bye,
man. See
everybody.
ya. Yeah, I'll let me just read through Connor's thing and then I'll probably send it out. All right, so 677 doesn't look like it's holding here. We may be flipping this reverse rug pull, maybe end up coming into play here, right? So I would probably not be shorting. So it's a good spot to trim, but this double top's looking sketchier here. We are approaching these SPY nodes though, the SPY stack up here. But man, what a rip. Now I'm kind of sad. It's gonna take some put credit spreads and just never got into them. Yeah, Connor got an exciting life, so he's always got fun stuff to do. I don't know if not everyone was here when he used to just send pictures when he'd be in just be on the plane, right? Like, oh, I missed the trade. I was on a flight. Not on a flight. I was flying. It's like, what the heck? Got a trade from the air. I hope. No, actually, so the reason I was late today is I called someone who's a pilot. I don't want to dox, but like, so he's a pilot for an airline, and he said that they got Starlink, and on the breaks he's trading. So this isn't Connor. This is someone else. He was telling me this. I was like, what the fuck? So actually, that might have been a liquidity hunt. What the? Okay, that was a pretty steep overshoot. So because how steep that overshoot was, I was a bit nervous this reverse rug pull was coming into play. Also with the SPY upside volume. But yeah, actually, maybe this might be holding of a ceiling. Maybe I scared myself out of that. No, yeah, Connor is not a pilot for an airline. The guy I called in the 101 is. Yeah, like Connor, I think just finished flight school a few months ago. I forget when it was, and then. But yeah, no, that guy called me yesterday, had me dying. Connor does not trade while he flies. I'll be clear. He just takes a picture or two. And also, the other guy trades on breaks while he's in there. He's not putting people at risk. All right. Who is buying Apple puts? Don't know. Let's see. Apple has not pushed very much for as strong as this market rip has been. That is interesting. I don't know if I like this level for Apple. Also kind of tested it 3 times already. I don't think I like Apple. I don't trade Apple very much at all. I don't like how it moves. Like a lot of times it's moving opposite to the market, or like market's strong and Apple's lagging really bad. So I hate that ticker. Amazon reverse rug, not yet. We're still under the positive node, so we can't say that it's going to rip if we haven't actually cleared that. Blair, you can tune into 2 streams simultaneously? I don't even know how you'd be able to. Wait, I didn't know you could do that from your phone. Thanks, Jewel. Jewel's in the other stream. Hey, yo, what's happening? No, I'm playing. It's all good, sweet. See you, Crow. Baba 120. Yeah, same thing here. 116 is still, we still haven't technically flipped it to a floor. So the support resistance flip at 115, this is actually really clean. This is a really nice bounce. at around
I'm
11.
gonna go switch over to Jewel. It was a good morning, Nico.
Yeah, thanks, Karma. All the
Catch you.
help. See ya. All right. I'll probably slide off soon. They slipped in 741. Yeah, 741 has grown. We just had such a strong push. Like, I don't want people to play a retest here. So that's why I was leaning a bit more towards this double top being the play. It's just we overshot so heavy on this 677 that it a bit, yeah, it got me a bit nervous about the reverse rug pull playing out, but that's fine. That one I didn't read great, but yeah, double negative on SPX, and it looks like this the positive note on the reverse rug pull is holding, but we'll see. We're also going into lunch, so going into lunch, big sell off, huge bounce, retracement, another big bounce. Like we've had a lot of moves here, right? So again, a given day is only going to give you so many opportunities. So don't be expecting that you can be trading every hour 2 chances. And so if things have already happened, a lot of stuff, we're going into lunch. Yeah, maybe you do just sign off, come back later, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. And see if something happens in the afternoon. Okay. Shah. Yeah, thanks, Shah. No problem at all. Hopefully these have been helpful. I might log off here, I'll be honest. Wait, let me check my calendar. I think I have a one-on-one today that I accidentally scheduled during market hours. Yeah, I'm gonna log off here so I can eat breakfast / lunch at this point. Hopefully this helped everyone. I know, yeah, Jules on live, so y'all can just pivot to his stream. And then if there's any feedback for me, leave it in the survey or DM me. If there's anything I need to do better, it's more clear. I know today was mostly index focused, but there was a lot of movement going on, but there were still a couple individual ticker trades that. So for those of y'all who are shouting out a few of the individual tickers, thanks for doing that as well, because I don't have time to be doing that while I watch indexes and answer all these questions. So it does pop up a few good alerts, right? I think Oracle and a few other people took some nice trades. Okay. Yeah, Schulte, I'm glad it helps. All right, everyone. Again, stay safe. It's lunch. Maybe take it easy, and then I'll be back like 1:30, 2 p.m. I'm not sure if I'll do it separate. I'll just join in with Jewel. But and again, everyone, please go to announcements. If you're interested in 1 month free pro, right? We're gonna raffle it off only to people who fill out the survey, leave their info, do a Trustpilot, and do a WAP review. So we'd appreciate the feedback. It's always going to be to improve the product, improve the tool. So I think people have seen we take a lot of the recommendations y'all give, and the developers push them out as quick as they can. Success team, we've shifted a lot of how we do the stages based on feedback. So again, it's the more feedback we get constantly throughout the year, it's the better we can, better of a service we can provide. It's the same feedback form as last week. So if you've already filled it out, that's fine. If you have any edits, you can go back in and make any edits in case something's changed since then. But otherwise, just leave it as it is if you've already filled it out. And just make sure you do the Trustpilot and the WAP. Okay, everyone. I'm going to hop off here. Thanks all. Hope everyone had a good morning. Okay, bye.